Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia Chapter 210. Uh, okay, so let's start off by talking about that ending and what exactly Gran Torino's words mean about the man shrouded in black. Because obviously he's referring to the Dreamscape version of All for One. Now, I forgot to mention it back when I did the review of this specific chapter, but at the end of chapter 93, we clearly see markings on Izuku's arm. So, taking that into consideration with what happened in this chapter, I think it's one of those times where I was partially but not 100% right about a link being developed with All for One, but one thing I wasn't expecting that I think Horikoshi is doing as well is that it feels like this connection might somehow be siphoning power back to All for One. And what really kind of enforces that for me is first off, of course, the obvious that One for All was originally part of All for One. But if you look back, if you look back at all the times that we've cut away to pretty much all to pretty much seeing All for One in prison and just kind of acting cocky, acting like confident and cocky, never losing his smile. He obviously knows that something is going on about the development of the One for All quirk. So I think to that end, it is a situation where it's almost kind of where One for All is kind of siphoning power, where All for One is kind of siphoning power, off of All for One. I don't know for sure, but it is kind of almost feeling that way, or even and even and even on the connection part, like, and even on the on the connection part of things, it kind of genuinely feels like it kind of genuinely feels that if nothing, if I can't, like I said, I can't say for sure if this is exactly what's going on, but it definitely kind of feels like it is almost. And even if it isn't, I even if that isn't the fact, even if that isn't the case, then there is something going on just on the fact that something is definitely consuming Izuku. Um, Actually, the more I think about it, I almost wonder if it's just if it's also just that the connection between the two quirks is actually growing stronger, as time passes, because it seems like if this connection was established way back when it was only just like a vague presence, then imagine what how strong that connection would suddenly get if we're passed down from generation to generation, like generation to generation of hero. Like, eventually the connection would definitely grow strong enough in order for All for One to start siphoning power off of One for All or something like that. But I I I can't say for sure. Again, I can't say for sure if that's actually the case. It's just a theory I have. Um, Now, what? Although one thing I can't say for certain is that whatever is one thing I can't say for certain though is that whatever is going on, I do know for sure that this public display is going to make it harder for Izuku and All Might to keep One for All a secret. At the very least, from Aizawa. Like, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Like, how All Might is gonna justify this little display. All Might and Izuku are gonna justify that little display, but it'll be interesting to see what'll happen. Like, I think one thing we can't say for certain is that after this thing, I think that Aizawa is definitely gonna want some answers. Like, he's not gonna let this go. He's gonna want to know the truth about Izuku's quirk after this, and I'd honestly go so far as to say that it'll be interesting to see how Horikoshi decides to involve Ida and Ochiko in a kind of reveal as well. Because let's just say that we've known for a while that Ida and Ochiko aren't dumb. So I think the time is almost coming to the point where they are going to. I think Horikoshi's almost setting it up as, yeah, the time is coming soon where at the very, well, I don't know if everyone's gonna learn. It's coming to the point where, at the very least, Ida and Ochiko are going to learn Izuku's secret as well. And I just And I'm just curious as to when he's actually going to make the reveal, if it's going to happen immediately after this, or if it's a couple chapters down the line still. But yeah, either way, it's it should be. I think either way, like definitely, definitely the power is on full display here. So something's got to give. Now, moving on, let's talk about Monoma in this chapter, because I'll be honest, he was very interesting with he kind of terrified me with his mind games in this chapter. In this chapter, the kind of mind games he was playing with Izuku, because don't get me wrong, he would with Monoma in this chapter, he was acting like his usual cocky self, yet somehow with just in the way that Monoma's dialogue was structured in this chapter, I could actually I could actually kind of feel I could actually kind of see like I could actually kind of look even beyond the cockiness with Monoma in this chapter. Like I could see that this time around with Monoma there was like a genuine attempt in order to understand what makes people like pretty much Bakugo and Izuku who they are, and why people look up to them as these great as these shining images, or as these shining images of what a hero should be, or something like that. It it and in that sense it looks like in that sense I really like this development, because it shows that he's really looking past that. Even though he's acting cocky still, he's willing to look past all of that, and that this time around he genuinely wants to listen, and he wants to learn of what it about being a hero, because I, I think in his mind if he learns something from Izuku, then he can maybe apply it to his own ideals, and his own kind of and his own kind of thinking on how he wants to on what he sees himself, and what kind of hero he wants to be, and how he sees himself as a hero. So yeah, it's weird to say, but even though he was acting cocky, this was some great development for Monoma. Although I do wonder if he was just went a little far with the comment about All Might's retirement. But anyway, but either way, it was still some great development for him. Um, One thing also really liked in this chapter is that there was a comment that was made by Saro at the beginning of the chapter about Izuku's team lacking any sort of radar, which and lo and behold, it was actually kind of addressed in this chapter with basically Mineta creating that sort of makeshift spider web, and even if things got crazy after. Even if things got crazy after being alerted. And the thing about this for me with the whole makeshift spider web is that, okay, I'll openly say I'm not like many others, I'm not Mineta's biggest fan. But having said that, unlike some others who just genuinely hate him, I'm kind of one of those where even though I don't particularly like Monoa, I can still appreciate the moments that genuinely showcase exactly the potential he has as a hero, and how his quirk and how the applications of his quirk can pretty much apply to any kind of hero work that he does. Uh, and and it was and I do like how Horikoshi pretty much definitely pretty much does end up finding at least a couple of new and creative ways every once in a while in order to in how Mineta's work can pretty much can be is a little more than a joke, and that it can be used effectively in like real life situations almost. It's weird to say, but yeah, in this we are starting to see that Mineta's quirk it does have some kind of practical application to it almost. Um, and like I said, it didn't, but like I said, things of course quickly got. It didn't take long for things to get after the alert for things to get out of control, and I'm kind of curious. And now that things have gotten out of control, I'm interested to see what exactly Ochiko and Ashida would do, because this is basically their this is pretty much their it's pretty much aside from Izuku, who's basically dealing with Monoma, they're pretty much they're the only ones who have any kind of combat skills and all that. So I'm interested to see exactly what Ochiko and Ashida are going to be able to do in combat now, and what kind of new tricks they've learned. Like, it should be interesting for sure. I'm always kind of curious whenever one of the whenever we focus away from Izuku and when it comes to the combat of things. So yeah, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Uh, Now, having said all that, I mean, I need to kind of address a bit of an elephant in the room, which is that the last page of the chapter, it's which when we got to the final when I got to the final page of this chapter, it still didn't give us any indication that Hiro Aka is ending for the year. So obviously, it's gonna continue. And honestly, I I really wish it did. I really wish it didn't, if for no other reason than to just. And honestly, I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of really confused on that right now because I think I know what's going on, but at the same time, I almost want Hero Aka to kind of just end for the year because and for the year on a high note because we basically if they ended now, I wouldn't be. I think it would serve us in the sense of it would keep us guessing of what's gonna happen pretty much come January, but I guess Shonen Jump is still pretty much still needs Horikoshi for a little longer, but it's one of those things where I'm just hoping that they won't be working him through pretty much all of December because yeah, I want Horikoshi to have a break, I do, but I want Horikoshi to have a break, but it just kind of brings up the question of how much longer that Shonen Jump needs him, I guess. Um, but yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Mr. Crunchyroll. Dead Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.